Hello everyone, I am the teacher for 300B. My name is Alexis. Welcome to class. How is everyone doing today? Good. I'm glad to hear. Yes. Okay, great. How are you? I'm good. Thank you. Cool. So let's get started. Let's start class. I will start class by sorry, by talking a little bit about myself. I will give you a short introduction about me. Again, my name is Alexis. I graduated from UCSD. I have been teaching XM for 3 years, 4 years. I really enjoy teaching, and it's my second time teaching 300. I think some of you may have seen me before, but it may be your first time, but that's okay. We'll get to know each other a little bit. A little bit about my hobby and what I like to do. I really enjoy running and swimming. Those are two things I enjoy. I used to really like playing volleyball, but I enjoy myself. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Let's talk about this class. One thing I want to talk about is the policy. Here's the student policy. And before I talk about what is in our policy, I want to tell you why. Why do we do this? Why do we care? Why do we tell you to do this? The reason is very simple. And next can we have a mission. We have two missions actually. First mission is we want to help you build a strong foundation in computer science by learning data structure and algorithms specifically. Second mission is we want to build a sense of community where we can support each other. And to do these two missions, you need to be here, meaning you need to actually be in the classroom. So these are the policy we will enforce. There's no negotiation. There's no, well, I cannot do this because of ABC. Will not take excuses. First policy is the camera policy. So everyone, please make sure that you turn your camera on. This is so important because it shows that you are participating. You are actually here. You are not pretending you are here, but you are playing games, watching YouTube, chatting with a friend. So please make sure that your camera is on. This is so important. And if your camera is off, I will remind you to turn it on. And if there's no action taken from your side, what I will do is after class, the class coordinator will contact your parent. Let your parent know that you have not been turning your camera on, and we will need to do that. So please make sure that you have your camera on. So Amy, could you please turn your camera on? Okay, thank you. Really appreciate that. So let's make sure that we keep our camera on. I will be very strict about this. There will be no negotiation. Class participation. I want to make sure that you're with us, you're having fun, you are in this, this enjoyable learning space. You're growing, you're learning, and that's why participation is so important. What does it mean? When I call your name, you can tell me, I don't know. You can tell me, could you repeat? But I won't accept things like you just ghost me on me. No one like to be ghosted, right? Like if someone don't reply to you, you probably don't feel very good about it, right? So if you don't answer back or reply back to me, I will also need to have the class coordinator contact your parent. What about like if I'm in bathroom? What if I'm like traveling? Please let me know. If you need to go to bathroom, if you're traveling, if you're eating, if you don't want to show your face, that's okay. You can privately message me. But you are not allowed to ghost on me and other students as well. And the third one is respectful communication policy. Make sure that you don't say anything inappropriate. Make sure you don't say any swear words or disrespect other members. This is also very important. Last but not least, I think we're doing very well is we have our regular Zoom name. Okay, great. So that's it for the policy. I do want to make sure that it's very clear and I will strictly follow this. Any questions so far? Okay, next, let's talk about syllabus. What are we learning in this quarter? It will be an introduction to order-based strategy and algorithms. Pretty much the core USACO Silver topics. So why do we learn this is in the past, we learned about brute force method, like BFS, DFS, but how do we actually make something efficient and make something fast? That's what we're learning here. We'll talk about time complexity, how to see whether our algorithm is fast or slow, and then we'll talk about a few topics, including prefix sums, two pointers, and binary search. Two pointers and binary search are very closely related, but a huge chunk of our quarter will be spent on binary search, which is a very important topic in searching. And then we'll talk about DSU, distributed set union, a new data structure we'll learn. And last but not least, we'll conclude our quarter by talking about greedy algorithm. This is a topic we will introduce throughout the quarters. Next, I would like to talk about the parent meeting. There's a video I want to play. And here's the video. Type 1 in the chat if you can hear the sound.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first parent meeting. In this meeting, I'm just going to quickly talk about some of the useful information to make sure that you're informed and that your child can be successful in XCamp.
What about now?
So the first thing to note is that there is some class information in the information tab.
Okay,
so if you're in the... Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first parent meeting. In this meeting, I'm just going to quickly talk about some of the useful information to make sure that you're informed and that your child can be successful in XCamp. So the first thing to note is that there is some class information in the information tab. So if you're in the courseware for your course and you click on information, you'll be able to see some information such as the teacher, the class coordinator, link to the class, link to homework night, and other information like that. So please make sure that you know that under that tab, there's some helpful information. And then additionally, another place for helpful information is in the syllabus. Now, the syllabus is located in the course content for the class, and that just has an overview of the course content, along with some of the topics that are going to be taught in the class, and potentially even a introduction into what will be taught in the next class. Now, how do XCamp classes work? Well, currently we have all our classes conducted online in Zoom meetings, and the students are expected to have their webcams turned on in class, specifically with the camera facing their face so that we can see them. Now, all the students are encouraged to proactively engage in the class, and that's just through answering questions or participating in breakout room discussions, or participating in some coding practice, whether that's in discourse or separately assigned by the teacher. So there are lots of ways that students can participate during the class and are expected to participate. Now, after the class, students will be assigned a homework exercise, and those homework exercises are a little bit different than if you're used to completing your homework assignments at school. So usually with the homework assignments at school, they're a little bit quicker and there's probably more problems and it's a little bit easier to get full points, or the students are expected to get full points on their first try if they understood the course content. And I just want to tell you that with coding, that's not quite the case. Even if you understand the content, it really takes some time to practice it. And you should not have the expectation that you're always going to get 100% during the week on your very first try. We really value upsolving, and that's just this idea of once you've tried the problem, going back to see if you can try it again until you get your 100% on the question or 100% on your homework. Now, that often will be beyond just the week that you were expected to work on the homework. However, it is important to note that we will contact parents if the homework scores for a specific child is really low for 2 weeks. So if a student is failing to do their homework or just solving a couple questions on the homework and really missing out on the bulk of it, that's when we will contact you and make sure that you are up to date and we can find some solutions to help your child. Now, we have a problem-solving process, and this is what we expect our students to follow. Now, they might choose to do so in a different way, but this is really what we recommend, which is first trying to read the problem carefully, maybe even a couple of times, trying out some sample input and output on paper to make sure you understand the question correctly and make sure you have the right idea. Then think about how to solve the problem using what you learned in class. The homework problems will always connect to what we learned in class, but maybe you just have to think back and think a little bit creatively. Additionally, you can watch the homework explanation video if you need. We have hint videos and solution videos to help you get through that process. Use a pencil and paper to outline your plan on how to solve the problem depending on the problem's difficulty or how well you understand it. And then also code your solution, test with different cases. A lot of times the problems will just give you one test case. You definitely want to create your own test cases and see if they work as expected. And then finally submit your work. Okay, so let's go on to the next problem here, which is homework night. So homework night is hosted every single night from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And students are encouraged to join the Zoom session and work on their homework. So it is a place where you can get help, but you don't need to go to the homework night to get help. You can simply just join the homework night. It's nice and quiet, and you can just work on your homework during that time. And if you get stuck, you can ask one of the TAs for help, and they will be able to assist you. So don't feel like you have to go to the homework night with a question. You can always hang out there, and if you get stuck, then you can ask your question whenever you need it. And like I mentioned before, homework night Zoom link can be found in the courseware under the information tab. Now, the hint video and solution videos are a really useful tool for students to be able to make sure that they get full points. Oftentimes, there's just a small misunderstanding by the student on how to complete the problem. And the hint video is a way that they can clear up that misunderstanding and save them a lot of time from going down the wrong route. Now, make sure not to jump to the hint videos too soon. You really want to practice spending enough time to try and understand the problem yourself. Remember, if you're interested at all in competitions, you won't have hints or solutions to help you along the way. And the solution video will walk you through the code and show you how you can complete the problem as intended. Now, we also have a platform, Discourse, and in Discourse, this is basically a forum section where students can ask questions and either their classmates can answer, or we also have TAs who are dedicated to check for posts and answer and make sure students get the replies that they're looking for. So for this, it's student-to-student communication, and Discourse should be your priority when you have like any course-related questions. You can ask those and other students can answer, or TAs can answer. Additionally, you can also ask homework-related questions as well. Now, this is kind of a workflow diagram of how you should go about your homework. So after class, you have your homework, and if you have no clue how to start it, then you can always go to the hint video. Additionally, you can go back to the slides in class and see if you can make some connection from that. Now, if you failed a couple times and you don't really have the right idea or it's not quite working, you can then go to the solution video, which will be released after 2 days, or depending on the class, it might be slightly different, but our standard policy is about 2 days. And after the solution video, if you still are not quite understanding how the problem works or what's wrong with your submission, well, for our lower level classes, we have office hour that we offer where they can get the one-on-one TA debugging help. And for if you have a time conflict with that, or you're in a higher level class where we don't have such a need for the one-on-one help, well, we have the discourse where you can ask questions always, and you'll get a reply within 24 hours. And then also you can just go to the homework night and also ask your questions there. Now, additionally, the student guidebook is a resource that can be used and should be used by students in order to make sure that they have all the information regarding how to access discourse, how to do some other things like download test cases or some of the rules and instructions and some other helpful information. So just make sure that in your book, you see the student guidebook content, and there it will have all that information necessary for the students to understand in case there's always some students who have some trouble logging into discourse or things like that. Now, a really important role in terms of the class is our class coordinators. Now, our class coordinators are basically our way of following up with the students and sort of monitoring their progress and being that communication layer between the teacher and the parents. Now, there's sometimes a lot of communication or questions or things like that that parents could have, and our class coordinators are there to quickly assist you and make sure that you have all the information and all your questions are answered. And they're basically going to collect some requirements for students and parents and make sure everything is synced and we're all on the same page, and just provide a really great service for you. And then they'll also provide some other coding related information like seminars and contests and camps and other things like that. So hopefully this information was really helpful. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to your class coordinator or reach out to us here at XCamp in order to get those questions answered. I hope that you have a really great quarter. You enjoy our teaching, and we see you back again for the next quarter.
Okay, great. That is it for the parent meeting video. Any questions so far? Let's open up for questions. Alrighty, that's it for the parent meeting. Thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your day. As a question, when the video say there will be one-on-one TA help for lower class, do we count as lower class? When we say lower class, we refer to the 100 level. So 100, 101, 102. This is a high level class, so no. The question. Okay, great. So that's it for parent meeting. Thank you for joining. One thing I would like the student to do is this survey. So you're like, oh no, survey. So why do we do this survey? I want to get to know you a little bit. I want to get to know what is your goal. Like maybe you're pursuing USACO, maybe you're interested in problem solving, or you're just here like, to explore interest, it's all good. And how much time do you plan on spending on programming? And the last one is actually very interesting. How would you describe your learning characteristic or habits? Would you consider yourself very self-disciplined? Would you consider yourself curious, active, independent? Let me know. here's a survey I would like you to fill to get to know you a little bit. So let's take, say, 2 minutes to fill out this survey. And then what do you look forward this quarter? If there's anything you want to let me know, that would be great. If there's nothing I look forward to in this quarter, well, I guess, that's an answer. So after you finish the survey, please give me a thumbs up reaction. Let me know that you have finished. So I can move on if most of us have finished. Thumbs up reaction if you finish. And this class is 300. So this is the class. Okay, great. I got a thumbs up from Mira. Thank you. I think I forgot to say, this is mandatory. Please fill this out. This is not like optional. I think we shouldn't take too long. If you haven't finished, type one in the chat, but let me know that you need more time. Okay, let's continue then. Thank you for filling out the survey. So what are we gonna learn today? I want to write out the learning journey for you, so you know that what we are going over. First thing is, first thing our journey is, I want to play a game. I want to play a game to get to know each other. To get to know each other. So that it's not just me talking to you all the time, but what I have in mind, what I would consider as a very good classroom is an enjoyable growing space for you to grow and learn and interact with each other. So that's what I have in mind that I think will be something very good. And one thing I want to let some people know is, I know that you're showing me your forehead and your hair, but I'm not sure how your forehead and hair can help you do coding. So if you can show me how you're able to use your head and forehead to do coding, great. But if you're not, please show me your entire face so that I can better see you. Okay, great. So get to know each other. Second is I will have a short intro to time complexity. I will give you a great intro to why it matters, and then I'll talk about what time complexity is. And then last but not least, we'll talk about how to calculate and apply it. So those are the tasks we have today, or the journey that we have today. Questions so far? Okay, we have a joy emoji. Okay, great. So let's start with the game. Okay, actually, let me share my screen. So here's the game we're gonna play. It's a very easy game. The game is go get to know each other. Here's what we're gonna do. For each person, we will talk about first, what is our name? How do we pronounce our name? Second, what is one thing we enjoy in summer? Those are two things we'll go around and say. Here's the rules, because I can already guess. You will say one thing I enjoy in summer is I don't have to go to school. And probably like 80% of you will say that. So here's a rule to make it fun. Rule number one is you cannot repeat. If anyone say, well, I don't have to go to school, well, you cannot say that anymore. Second is that after you finish, you pick the next person to go. And if you don't pick, you can go again. Or go again. So think about the next person you want to pick. Or if you just be like, oh, I want to talk more, you can go again. Is everyone clear on the rule and the game we're playing? Okay, great. I will start because I want to be the first one. My name is Alexis. And what is one thing I enjoy in summer? I really like swimming. I like swimming because it's hot outside and it's just so nice to swim. That's a little bit about me. I'll pick the next person. But I want to ask, is there any volunteer who would like to go? I think the best strategy is to go as soon as possible so that you have a lot of things to say. But if no one want to go, then I will just I can go. Okay, yeah. Let's go with Vera. It's not sorry, not Vera. Let's go with Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma Wu, and one thing that I enjoy in summer, I guess, is just the amount of free time I get. I can like do art and stuff. And then like Vera can go next.
My name is Vera, and one thing I enjoy doing in the summer is playing video games.
Wait, before you go, which video game do you play?
There's this shooting game called Narrow One. And instead of using guns and stuff, there you use like bows and arrows. That's pretty fun.
Interesting, interesting. Thank you, Vera. Yeah, you can pick the next person, or you can go again if you want.
I'll pick the next person. Uh, Jenny T.
My name is Jenny. One thing I like doing in summer is traveling.
Nice, nice.
Next,
Yeah, go ahead.
Bryant.
My name is Brian Yu. One thing that I like to do during the summer is doing math and piano. Mm. Uh, William will go next.
My name is William, and one thing I like to do in summer is eat popsicles.
Nice, nice. I like that too.
And Oliver can go next.
My name is Oliver, and during the summer, I like to just like mess around with electronics. Hao Ming can go next.
My name is Toming. You can call me Gavin. And during the summer, I like summer because I have time to do math. And then right am I the last one?
I think you're the last one.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we're clear, did you say that you like summer because you have time to do math?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. We have some math enthusiastic here. So yes, thank you everyone. We hopefully get to know a little bit about each other, and we know that we're just we're actually like something that we enjoy. So that's good. Next, I want to talk about this class. So I want to start with a question. Has anyone experienced TOE, time limit exceeded, before? If you have, raise your hand. Okay, some of us are smiling. Okay, majority. So keep your hand raised if you love TOE, if you think TOE is so nice. Okay, I was gonna say how many, maybe you like TOE. Okay, none of us like TOE. So I want to talk about why. So I mean, not like why we hate TOE, but what is TOE and why that happens. So does anyone know what is TOE? What does that mean? What does time limit exceeded mean? You can feel free to jump in. You don't need to like raise your hand. Oh yes, go ahead, Vera.
It means like your program was running too long.
Too long.
And like it's too slow, or like too many operations were performed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. Okay, thank you. So too long, too slow, too many operations, right? Brian said like your code used too much time, it took too much time. So it's like the name, right? Time limit exceeded. You exceed the time limit. So what are some reasons that caused your algorithm, that caused your program to run too slow? What are specific issues or reasons? Brian, could you talk about one reason that caused this TLE?
Like if your code has an infinite loop.
Okay, great. Infinite loop. Thank you, Brian. And like what we did, you can pick the next person to tell us one reason that caused TLE.
Vera.
Did you say, who did you call?
Vera.
Sure, Vila, you can go again. If you want.
Like why TLE happens?
Yes, what are some reason?
You may have caused an infinite loop, or maybe your algorithm wasn't efficient enough to run in the time limit.
Yeah, thank you. Two main reasons, right? Infinite loop or your algorithm is too slow or not efficient. So next, the question is, how do we know whether our algorithm is fast or slow? How do we tell? Yes, Oliver, go ahead.
Big O notation.
Okay, so what is big O notation?
It represents how many operations you're doing, and usually for USACO, if you have more than 1 billion operations, you failed and you'll have a time limit.
Right, thank you. Big O notation, that's, and like Vera and Emma say. What's another way for us to tell whether it's too slow? Besides using big O notation. Now, what do you think is the most straightforward way to tell whether my program is too slow? See how many nested loops, okay? Any other idea? I think we're being too smart here. So has anyone think about like, if I just submit my program and then it say that it doesn't pass, that's a way for me to tell whether it's too slow, right? That's the most efficient way. I mean, not most efficient, but like the straightforward way. Like I submit, if you say like TOE, okay, I mean, that's too slow. But the thing is, we don't want to do that because you'll be submitting a lot of time and you need to finish your code, right, to submit. The problem with that is you may need to spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes writing the code. Can you just tell instantly how fast or slow your program is if you have the idea? That's where we're going, right? A faster way for us to tell how fast or slow your algorithm is. And how do we do that? Let's take a look at some example here. So if I say something to you, okay. For instance, I have two code I want to show to you. Actually, it may be more fun if I just write the code to you. So say that I have code number 1. Say it's the function. Say code 1. If I have something like for I int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and then I see out I. This is code number 1. And I have code number 2, where I have